So welcome to Strictly Businews. I am Alfonso Santinello. We have Corey Vetteramo here. She's been on a pretty hot streak showing every time now.
I know. I haven't missed one.
I know.
Yes.
Since we restarted again.
Until next week.
And we have first-time guest Ryan McCollum from RMC Strategies. Ryan, thank you for coming on.
No problem. My pleasure.
So we have some really fun topics to talk about. As we're going to talk, our first topic actually is going to be why you should drink at work. It was via Bloomberg Business Week. So cheers, guys. We're actually drinking while we film. We went from beer to hard booze, just like that.
It's not really just like that, though.
So the article from Business Week said little wine or beer will make you more creative. The researchers from the University of Illinois at Chicago found that moderate alcohol consumption can reduce people's ability to pay attention, as anyone who's ever been drunk can attest, which pretty much frees them up from creative problem-solving tasks. In other words, after a few beers, you might not be able to solve a math problem, but you can answer a riddle. So Corey, riddle me this. Just kidding. I mean, I understand what they're saying. I mean, you kind of, when you start getting the buzz on, you kind of just get more, your mind just opens up more.
Yeah, a little liquid courage doesn't hurt.
Little what?
Liquid courage.
Oh, okay.
No, you start to say the things you want to say.
Yeah.
Your imagination starts to go.
And I think that's what it is. You know, when you do I mean, I'm not a math person. I don't like doing math problems, but
They're just saying, like, figuratively speaking. Like,
yeah, thank you.
No, but liquid courage is something that, I mean, I think that was stemmed at when you're in a bar and you want to go up to somebody that you might not normally go up to,
Yeah.
and you have a little bit of courage, and it helps in networking situations a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Take it off the edge. There's a lot of people that they're petrified to go to networking events because they're just not social
Right.
people, or they're awkward people, or whatever reason. You know, then there are some people who have a drink or two before they go out and they're fine. But then there are some people who take a little overboard sometimes. But it makes it easier for people to communicate after a drink or two.
right. Or those introverts that don't feel comfortable speaking up at a meeting or
Yeah.
things like that.
But I think the article got into real empirical data about people actually being able to solve word
Yeah,
problems
they
better.
gave them, what did they give them? Vodka cranberry cocktails.
Made them watch Ratatouille or something.
Yeah, which I don't know how that time.
And even the
Odd
author
choice.
didn't
I
know
wish
why.
I wish I was there for that test. They got paid. They got cranberry vodka, and they have to watch a
Watch a
cartoon.
movie.
Like college students.
I don't know. I think there's a real fine line there, though. And there's a lot of people who just take it way past.
Are you buzzed, Corey?
No, I just think there's a real fine line, and there, some people may be able to control it, but like my company has functions where they serve booze, and you have a 2-drink minimum or whatever, or 2-drink maximum if it's like on campus, but then off campus, there are
Balls to the wall.
yeah,
So-
and people take advantage of it, and
Yeah.
it just makes you wonder, like, if people are promoting this, just makes you a little fearful of how far it would go.
I think social programs or after work, all that stuff, even when you're still with your colleagues, there's a fine line.
Yeah.
This is almost talking about drinking before you're actually having a brainstorming session.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
having a beer at lunch.
And there might be some truth to it. Like, I don't know if you guys watch Mad Men, but back in the day, every exec had a nice crystal bottle of whiskey behind his desk, and
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what we're drinking either. But
so there might be something to it to loosen people up before they have serious conversations or start thinking about things.
Yeah.
The etiquette starts to get. That's where the line starts.
Yeah.
If it's 1 o'clock during the day and you have a meeting and your client sees a bottle of booze in your office,
Yeah.
they might be like,
As you're throwing one back in the other hand. Nice to meet you.
Next up, Google got fined $25,000 for stonewalling FCC. Pretty much, it's like chump change then. But pretty much, FCC, Google has given the FCC a cold shoulder after, pretty much investigation was failing to respond to information requests for the FCC. It happened. The whole thing started in 2010. Google revealed the data collection cars. And it was pretty much taking information, email accounts, usernames, password, as the car was driving by from people that were in the open networks. So the FCC wanted to step in. The FCC wasn't originally going to charge them. They just wanted the information, make sure they weren't illegally doing anything, but kind of Google was just kind of giving them the loop around and giving them trouble about it. which I don't understand. And then now they got charged $25,000, which in normal people it's like $25. But it's like
25
It's like,
cents.
yeah, for Google that's nothing.
Yeah.
They sneeze that, and it seems as though
Sneeze that?
yeah, and it seems as though from the article like they purposefully gave them the runaround.
yeah.
And so it's to the point where Google's bigger than the FCC.
Oh, absolutely.
So how are they going to regulate somebody?
they-
they're
Really good.
They
they're
deleted
smaller.
information, so the FCC couldn't get to it. It was like months before they even. It took the whole process took 9 months altogether between them trying to get in touch with them. FCC just pretty much said, "F you, here's $25,000 fee for just being a pain in the ass."
And what Google apparently did from the article is data mining and like stealing people's data.
Yeah.
And then they said they didn't use it improperly,
What's
but
the word that they used? Payload data is what the term is
Yeah.
pretty much used.
and so I mean they were trying to run a little bit of game, and how the FCC found out to begin with it they don't really talk about in there, but
There's a snitch.
kind of makes you a little bit nervous that they can drive around with a car and get your email password
Yeah.
from your
Great,
credit.
and
That's why you gotta lock up all your Wi-Fi's, people. That's why open networks are not the best way to go
Yeah.
for any situation. Doesn't matter if your neighbor's stealing internet from you. You don't want Google stealing shit from you.
No, but it's more about to know your trends and what you do and what you like to
Right,
buy and where
understanding.
you
Yeah.
go,
Right.
and then they sell that information to
Other companies.
Yes.
And that's how you get annoyed with ads that are in your face at all times.
Exactly, but hopefully you're annoyed with stuff that you do buy.
Yeah.
that you want in your face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like this product. I was gonna keep that one away, but
All right.
Never drinking on the show again.
Until next week.
Yeah.
So eBay, there's this. Yeah, actually,
this is a
Yeah.
woman.
it's a woman. She went from having an eBay store to making a $24 million business. It's called Nasty Gal. She started when she was 22 in 2006. Sophia Omaruso. Got it right.
Wow.
I know, I got the
Oh,
name right. And
tough
I
on
even got the
there,
R. It's the whiskey. Well, anyway, she started this vintage shop on eBay because she kept getting friend requests from other companies that were doing it through MySpace. So 2006 it was MySpace. So she kept getting friend requests and she went through the pages and she was like, oh wow, this is really, really cool. She wanted to start her own. She was in art school, so she took the way she sold her merchandise, instead of doing it in a way of where everyone just kind of took random pictures, she really made it like artsy photography and to sell the products, and it really picked up. So she now she's pretty much gonna be starting her own clothing line. She left eBay and started her own e-commerce website, and in 2011, revenue of $24 million, and has 110 employees. So within 5 years, like she pretty much all she is reselling.
11,200% 3-year growth rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as the why you should drink at work story is great, like this was my favorite story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a larger context, it shows what young professionals can do, and it shows how we do it nowadays, and how it's not the traditional way that baby boomers do it.
Yeah.
Right.
She used the internet and she used a global market because it's a global market.
Well,
for
at
her,
the same
too.
time, she didn't reinvent the wheel. You know, people are always selling
Vintage.
vintage,
fashion,
yeah.
art,
So,
yeah.
but she did it in a way where she just kind of, got better. She got better photos for it, sold it more professionally compared to just eBay, and I think that's what really helped her.
Yeah, she used social media and she
Right.
used, the technology at our hands that we understand.
Yeah.
Just but inherently from
Right.
growing up with
Just
it.
to pull people in.
And it's not like Plato's closet. Like it's good to go in and see it, but she the way she used the models and even the name of her business, Nasty Gal, is like something.
It's marketable in so many different
So
genres.
marketable, yeah, and I guess I did a little bit of more research, and she a little bit of more, and she got that name from Betty Davis, who's
Yeah.
like a
Yes.
funk singer from the '70s. So
Right.
I went and I listened to the song, and it was just like it's cool. It's cool
a
to see
vintage-
a young professional
yeah.
do
It
something
hits
like that.
an
she got-
array of markets. Or
Yeah.
target markets.
She got a $9 million investment from Index Ventures Growth Fund. So even with the $24 million she made as the company made, she didn't make that money. she's still getting invested with $9 million. So and I think that's going towards her own clothing line. I don't know if it's gonna be called
Yeah,
Nasty
she's
Girl.
gonna do her own clothing
Her own
line.
collection.
So she's like taking this idea that started off with her in college, just trying to pay her the rent. That's what she said. She was just trying to pay the rent.
So the analogy of, and then it gets even deeper, but like she's using like baby boomer and even older clothes and even older products to get rich.
Yeah.
It's awesome to me because I
And
also,
it's I mean, in a sense, it's recycling. So I mean, there are people that throw a lot of shit away that just don't use it. She's just taking it and reselling it and refurbishing it. She's not like just kind of she's picking and choosing what she's selling, but she's being specific now. So now when they know what her
She's
demographic
developed her
is.
brand.
she's
Yeah.
awesome, and she's probably 6 months away from a reality show. I bet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
I mean, because she's awesome.
Hopefully it's not called Nasty Girl because that's already taken on
It's
the adult
gal,
channel.
Gal.
girl.
So, lastly, there's a lot of Apple speculation and rumors going on with different products that they're going to be supposed to be launching this coming year, next year. Of course, and it's been mentioned many times that they're coming out with a mini iPad, and it has to do with like the Nook and the Kindle and the new Samsung notebook. Is that what it's called? Like, so they're trying to compete with all of that genre now. They're going to sell it for between $250 to $300, which is like half the price. Then they also said they're coming out with a MacBook, they have the MacBook Air line, so now they're going to attach it to all their other products to kind of really come out with smaller products. And then the Apple TV, which has been talked about for a while, but I guess
What a video game company, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that, and then they also, Foxconn has a deal now with Sharp. So there's like certain LCD tech now that Apple has capabilities to grab and use for their Apple TV if that
The
happens.
so-called unicorn.
Yeah.
The unicorn.
Because they call it, where did we get this article from?
Fast Company.
Yes. They call it the unicorn because it's, people believe that or they don't believe it, but it's just like it's a myth. It never happens. And they think that's what's going to happen with the Apple TV. People always speculate what's going to come out, but no one
And
knows.
then in the article they say, it's a unicorn, but how cool would it be to actually see it?
Yeah.
Like eventually.
And I mean, I've heard so many different things from Apple TV having it be like an Amex TV where it kind of curves around. I think we talked about this way year one of Businews. And so, I mean, they have a lot of things that are really, really cool that's coming out. And then there's this developer guy who's saying that they're working on a revolutionary product with Apple, but Apple doesn't, the rep from Apple saying they don't know of any revolutionary product that they're talking about. And I think that's stupid because Apple's a revolutionary kind of company, so they're not going to launch a product unless it's going to change something.
Right.
But I think there's two big things with the article when I read it is that Apple rumors, they love the rumors, right? So that's what
They
they're
send
in the business.
their drunken. I bet you they get their employees drunk and purposely lose their product testing
Right.
iPhone.
Prototypes.
Yeah,
They're brilliant.
just-
They're brilliant at it, and they love the rumors. They love the fact that we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And
so
that's
people
the
are going to
thing.
be on their Apple Macs watching us talk about this right now and be like, "Oh, I can't wait for that to come out." So that's one of the bigger things. But also with with televisions, I think, and I'm no technology pro, but with televisions, everybody's trying. I think you need to be like 10 years in front of where everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
So if Apple's going to do it, people are going to expect them to do it big.
Oh,
so they're not
absolutely.
going to come out and just do like some flat screen TV that has internet capability.
Yeah.
They're going to do something big and crazy with Apple TV and just be, for lack of better words, gangster and just like take over the
Yeah.
game.
And then 2 months later, they're gonna launch like the Apple TV 2.
And then at some point, I think at some point, it's like your phone, your tablet, your laptop, and your television is all going to be one. And
Yeah.
You're not really going to have
Absolutely.
much.
Well, that's what they're
difference.
saying. If they go with a gaming console, that they're not gonna have remotes. You're gonna have to use your iPhone or the iPad. And
Yeah.
they're saying that every household has an Apple product now. It doesn't matter what even if it's an what's the music one?
iTouch.
iTouch.
iPod,
Yeah.
iPod.
Shuffle.
iPod. I forgot. No one thinks of those anymore because everyone uses the iPhone or whatever. But it's if you have any of those, that will count as a remote now. So there's a lot of things that's going on.
I mean, they want to take over, so it's just going to be every tech, like all these different pieces of equipment are all going to be out.
Oh yeah. Well, and little side note in the article too. I don't know if anyone noticed that Google's coming out with their own unit that has to compete with the iPad now.
Oh, really?
So they're gonna come out with their own. And I don't know. Well, because there's been Android tablets before, but I guess
Right.
Google's gonna come out with their own tablet. Obviously, it'll be Android powered, but they're gonna have their own brand unit. It's
That's the
gonna
thing
be
with Google though. I've never seen hardware from them.
Yeah.
Really.
Right. Yeah.
And I think, well, Google in the past year has just been changing a lot. They've gotten rid of a lot of their services. They're kind of micro shrinking everything down to a specific kind of like app platform. This is, all these apps. They got rid of, I think, 4 different. I mean, they gotten rid of Wave. Got rid of 2 years ago and officially took it off the site this year. They got rid of. They're changing Blogger. They're gonna be. I think they're changing their name. I think it's called Google Blogs now.
Okay.
They are. I didn't write this down.
What's going on with their new
Google
social
Plus?
networking? Yeah.
Google Plus. They just
Is anybody
redesigned
using
Google
it?
Plus.
They keep trying. I mean, Facebook's just the
I don't
beast.
see.
It
I
is,
don't
yeah.
think Google Plus is a great internet company, but they're not a great social media company.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I do
It's-
a little bit Google Plus politics they have, which is it helps you with in doing the political stuff with some of my clients. It helps you with seeing rings of people because they're big.
Making the
this
connection.
circles, and then who's in this ring, who's in that ring.
Yeah.
But it's tough enough to get an elected official to be comfortable with Facebook. Never mind
Yeah.
Google
Right.
Plus. So if I do it on my own. But not everybody's on Google Plus, so it doesn't work as well. So they're trying, and I think what they're trying to do is go at the industries rather than go at the social networking part. But
Yeah.
Well, when you're
I just-
entering an industry like that, competing with Facebook, it's really
Yeah.
hard to find your niche.
I just think I feel like I want to like Google Plus, but it's just, and I go on every day and I check in once a day to see like whatever. And there are a lot of people who go on there regularly, but.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Junior Achievement this morning, and I'd like to thank you very much for coming. My name is Jennifer Conley, and I am the president of JA of Western Massachusetts. And today we are celebrating National Financial Literacy Month and unveiling the JA It All Starts Here campaign, which captures the spirit of Springfield's first and of Horace Moses, one of our founders.
It is truly my pleasure and honor to be here this morning on behalf of the Patrick Murray administration. It isn't difficult to support junior achievement. Their basic belief of integrity, respect, and excellence are aligned with the governor's vision and priorities as they relate to our youth.
Very much so. Superintendent Dr. Alan Ingram and Nick Ventralakis of Mass Mutual, the chairman of the board, Mr. Gilligan, who I call Mr. Basketball, to the board members, and Ace Sound Man, Eddie Brown. Where's my sound man? He's back there. He is over there. It's ironic that I'm here today, because earlier this morning I opened up a stick for financial literacy for our high school students. That was being put forth by a banking community. And I remember as a kid, SIS, Springfield Institution for Saving. And we used to have a white passbook. And you save your money. Now it's tough to do it these days. But JA, 93 years, has taken the lead on financial literacy. And I think it's important, not only entrepreneurship, but that young people realize credit, whether it's credit life or credit devastation. And I think many a times with credit cards, and that's where JA is invaluable as far as being able to money management.
Necessity. We are, as part of our vision for educating all children, all 26,000 of our students across the city, is to try and make sure that they're college, career, and citizenship ready. And financial literacy is a big part of that, and leadership development and youth development are obviously parts of that. But more specific, when we look at the work that JA has done with respect to financial literacy, about 4,000 of our students have been touched by this training opportunity.
Junior Achievement was founded in Springfield in 1919, and the basis was to take students and teach them how to be entrepreneurial and how to manage their finances. And from 1919 till now, JA has developed programs. This year we have over 23 programs that we deliver to students, grades kindergarten through 12. And they deal with financial literacy, economics, entrepreneurship, and career exploration and youth empowerment. For example, in the kindergartens, they learn how to save money, how to recognize money, how to save it. We give them a little bank, all the way up to a class for economics for success, where the students actually build their own budget. They get a career card with an income, and they have to decide between gross income and net income, and then they have to decide fixed costs and variable costs, what they want for housing and entertainment and things like that. And then we also go all the way up to stock market and how do you invest and what's a stock, and we actually have a competition where the students get to pretend they're traders for an hour and have $1 million to invest. So financial literacy is very key to junior achievement. It's helping the students understand what they need to succeed. They get an education, they get a job, but they have to make wise choices with credit, with savings. One of the key things that we teach them is to invest in themselves first. So it's pay themselves through savings, long-term and short.
Hello, I'm Tom Fox, the co-host of Uconomy. Obviously, Nunzio Bruno is my co-host, and we have a great show about finance and entrepreneurship. And we're here at the JA event. I'm the vice chairman of the board of directors of Junior Achievement of Western Massachusetts. We do a lot of great things in the community, and we're always looking for volunteers and people to come in and really get involved with you, teach them about finance and entrepreneurship and where we're going. In our local community alone, JA has educated over 10,000 kids a year globally. Globally, JA helps over 6 million students, and it all started right here in Western Massachusetts. So it's a great organization that's homegrown, and we could always use some. So we're always looking for volunteers and just good people to help them work with kids and give them the skills that they need to survive. So please, by all means, reach out to us, see what you can do to lend a hand, and we'd be happy to.
Junior Achievement is a wonderful program. It started in Springfield, Mass. about 93 years ago. What it does is teaches kids K through 12 financial literacy, business skills, how to be entrepreneurial, a whole bunch of other stuff. It's just a wonderful program. I'm honored to be chosen as a 2012 spokesperson and also a board member. And I mean, what Jay really needs from people most is just, to come out and volunteer. And you may think, well, I can't volunteer. Yeah, you can. You balance a checkbook. You know how to make sure you pay your bills on time. Little simple stuff. Because to us, it might be nothing, but to these kids, it's a whole new amazing world. When we come out, so if you can volunteer, help out any kind of way, time, money, whatever it may be, feel free to do so.
Helping us kick off our JA, It All Starts Here campaign. And this year, we will serve over 10,000 students in Western Massachusetts and over 5,000 of them right here in Springfield. So I appreciate all the support that we get from everybody, and we look forward to serving you for another 90 years.